Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and being a producer of Wrestle Massacre as well as Inside Movies Galore, I am David Streggy, and welcome to Delusions of Grandeur. Enjoy the reviews. I certainly did.
Okay, Dave, that's it. Screw you and your college flunkies. I've had enough of this from you and from everyone else. I know what you guys are trying to do. Break me down, drive me out of the force. Well, it's going to take a hell of a lot more than a lame prank like this to get Curtis Mooney to throw in his badge, so fuck you. Over.
Here is the film that we are going to talk about next here on Delusions of Grandeur. It is, at least this particular copy, is two different, and the first is an extended cut, and this other one is a director's cut. So it's a two-disc version, and it does have English subtitles. So next is my review. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Delusions of Grandeur. I'm your host, David Streggy, and here I have another film review for you. And this one is very cool. It's written and directed by Gunther Brandl with Brandl Pictures. And it's about a group of 5 soldiers who evidently were in a battle in the 1800s between the Russians and the Swedes. And they end up, one of their party ends up getting wounded in battle, and they're carrying him through the grass as they come upon this village. And the people there are very religious. They seem like they haven't really seen anyone in a while and keep to themselves. Um, there is a priest. Let's just say that the priest um, is very religious. He wants to um, control his town because evidently at one point in time they had what we learn is that this entire village was responsible for keeping Lucifer at bay, I guess. And I thought that this film was very unique because it involves gore to an extent where there is quite a few bloody scenes that, when a group of maybe 3 people try to leave the town. They don't fully believe in the curse that they have been set upon for you know for having to have imprisoned Lucifer. They cannot ever leave this the ground in which they live on, and not only that, but evidently this town or village is actually supposedly like a time capsule in time. There is a woman in the village who lives with her 2 daughters, and she has been pining after her husband for many years. So what she does is she makes a pact with the devil and trades her soul or whatever for the life of her husband. Only it is not entirely what she has asked for. In fact, um, it was a unique and independent scene in the way that the husband, when he came back, um, he made love with his wife, and while he was making love with his wife, the daughter was actually enticing the other daughter into sinful natures, and this is just a kind of a devilish kind of a cultish like um, beast in the garden kind of a story where you have all these peaceful folk, and um, all of a sudden one wrong thing goes wrong, and then the rest fall into sin. And at night, evidently there's an orgy of sorts that goes on. Um, the priest doesn't entirely know how much evil is involved in his town, and um, the fact that um, apparently the ashes of the last person the devil set foot and possessed um, has been released from the tower. So there is a ruined tower that I like. I like the look of the town. I like the fact that Many of the clothing and artifacts of the actors and actresses um, are very of the times. Um, so I give credit to Gunther for whenever he directs. Goes out and um, clothes his actors and actresses to down to the hilt, and makes it look believable that these were in fact soldiers fighting for the Swedish army or something of that nature. That they were kinfolk to to the Swedish people in this village, and it almost kind of reminds me of like a Brigadoon kind of feel to the story, because um, the only thing is it's kind of got a devil rides out kind of a tale. So um, you have evil, you have good, and when evil smites out good and totally annihilates whatever good was left, that was this film. And the film involved Jürgen Lill as Brother Rasmus. Nadja Holtz played Sven. Monica Brandl played Zorun. Zorun was this young woman who evidently her father um, and herself, they had in fact been the ones to help put these the ashes of the possessed man in the tower, and she lost her sight because of it. So Thomas Pill, Stefan Mubar played Lieutenant Blomquist. Um, Mila Moore, who played Alti. Um, Gunther Brandl played Brother Kel or Gel. Um, so there were different characters for different things, and I like the fact that it it didn't not how can I say this? I like the fact that it had no it didn't try to hide anything, so to speak, because there was a moment where there's a sister nun, um, sister. Let's see if I can see her name here. Um, Sister Liska, played by Katharina Buschberger. She's the one. She's the one that I thought did the most in here, because she allowed the first the first tentacle-like thing come out of the ground and fuck her vagina. um, so I think that there is a Lovecraftian ness to some of the creatures, some of the beasts. I thought that the ways to show that the evil was there, using a man in a suit to create a beast, a mask, and also a secret cult for the Lord, this particular Lord, which is the opposite of good. Um, so I did not think that they would go there with Katharina Buschberger. I mean, she ultimately took the innocent monk, who I believe was not Brother Rasmus, but Brother Gel or Kel. It's Kjell. And Brother Kel, I'm going to say. And uh, she took his penis out and gave him a blowjob and ultimately sat on his cock and wrote it. So um, I I don't think many films go there that extreme where you can tell that she actually did these things. She actually rode that cock, and I know it's kind of funny me saying these things, but um, it was different. And I know this is an independent film. It's not a porno. It was definitely meant to be raunchy. Definitely meant to make you turn away from certain things. And I'm glad that they didn't hide those things from us. So I fairly enjoyed this film all around. I mean, I enjoyed the world the world of the underworld that was shown in the very end. I don't want to say too much about the ending because it was kind of oh, they went there. I mean, it looked kind of cheaper in the end, but it looked very cool as well. I mean, everything was for the most part done with practical effects, except for the for Hell, which had a little bit of CGI. I think there was some money put into this film, not a whole lot, but some, and you could tell that it was low budget, but you could also tell that there were some really good practical effects on some of the people, and I liked the fact that you couldn't leave. There were three people who were not allowed to leave, and so forces at will actually destroyed these people that tried to leave. So I like that sense of uneasiness, that there is that kind of thing out there. In any case, hopefully you enjoyed my description of this film. Definitely like and subscribe to my page if you have not. Definitely check the film out on your own if you can. You can actually buy it straight from Gunther himself. And I ended up buying his entire filmography um, to date, at least as far as he told me. I mean, there could be more. I don't know, but I was really, really very impressed with this film, and I'm glad that it had subtitles to understand what was going on. Not all of his films do that I bought, and so some of them, when I view them, will not have words from Brandl Pictures, that is. So hopefully um, you've enjoyed my description of this film. Definitely check out some of my other reviews, and I look forward to telling you more about more films in the future. I thought the acting was really good on all those involved, and if I had to pick a favorite moment, I would have to just say I love the the moment of, I would have to say the moments of orgies that were going on, and the fact that you could tell that they went there with real sex acts. In any case, thank you for listening. Have a great day, evening, or morning, wherever you are. Appreciate the time spent listening. Thank you so much.
You were good, kid, real good. But as long as I'm around, you'll always be second best, see?